Secretary of State Antony Blinken would have been wrapping up his trip to China today, but the balloon controversy postponed that trip. So on that, correspondent Patrick Falk is live in Hong Kong with more on how China is reacting to the shooting down of the balloon. Patrick, what's the latest reaction that we know from China today?
Yeah, well, Foreign Ministry spokesperson Manning faced a very tough line of questioning at a press briefing in Beijing today after saying that this was an isolated incident, the balloon entering U.S. airspace, and blaming it on weather conditions and saying that the balloon had no steering capability. She was then asked why a second balloon was spotted over Latin America and how China could possibly have lost control of two balloons over the Pacific Ocean, to which she responded she's not an expert in the field and that it wasn't convenient for her to answer those questions. It does seem as though China has been embarrassed by this entire affair, but whereas a few days ago it had offered quite a conciliatory tone and said that it was regretful over the incident and that it wasn't intentional, it's really switched to a much more confrontational response in recent days. But one would have to say, or a lot of people would argue, that it does seem to be just digging itself a bigger hole right now.
All that being said, just how damaging could this actually be for relations between China and the U.S. from where you're standing?
Yeah, well, it's very hard to say, and China does seem to be doubling down on its accusations against the U.S. It said that it was possibly dealing a serious blow to relations between the two sides. Vice Minister of Foreign Affairs Xie Feng almost went as far as accusing the U.S. of violating international law. He said by shooting down the balloon in a military sort of approach, it was violating the spirit of international sanctions and international convention, even though many experts have agreed that it's China here that has violated international rules and had contravened the rules of international airspace. So it does seem as though the situation is getting slightly out of hand, and a lot of people have said in recent days, in the grand scheme of the tensions and rivalry there's been between the U.S. and China, this is a relatively trivial affair, but it is certainly threatening to spiral out of control.
Yeah, it does seem that way. All right, Patrick Falk live in Hong Kong for us. Thank you.